What is up, everybody? If you guys are part of the art community in Taipei, you definitely know this man. We've got Tom Rook Art with us live tonight, right after this. All right, now we're good to go. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, thanks, man. It's nice to meet you. And I have to say, your art is fantastic, man.
Thank
I
you.
love it. Yeah. Where did that start from? I mean, how long have you been doing the art?
In that particular style,
Yep.
since about 2009.
Okay.
But it kind of comes from very young childhood as well.
Okay.
Probably I was about 3, 4, 5.
Really?
Kind of age where I'd start sort of drawing large cities.
Okay.
Usually just imagined. Yeah.
So like on the walls at home, or where did you do
No,
that?
never on the walls.
Never
but-
on the walls at home. Okay. So you just grabbed the pen and you just were like, just started going.
Yeah. A lot of the time at my grandparents' house. Actually.
Okay.
My granddad was an engineer for
Okay.
the electric board. And
Okay.
he had these huge sheets of paper
Okay.
that all the kind of diagrams and connections between the electricity grid.
Okay,
So I used
okay.
the back of those, and
Oh,
so I had
okay.
they were quite large. I had like enough space to make
Okay.
some big drawings with that.
I was
Yeah.
watching the video that Esli did for you, and it's pretty awesome, man. And you've been here for over 10 years now.
Yeah, coming up to 11 soon.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
man. And originally, what brought you here? I mean, everyone asks that's always the
Yeah.
first question. But I mean, if I don't ask that, everyone's like, why didn't you ask that? So yeah.
I traveled a fair bit.
Okay.
Okay. Both before university and also during university a bit
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
And I went to India for about a couple of months between second and third year of university.
Oh, really?
Kind of. What kind of happened? Like my house in Nottingham got burgled, and the insurance payout was enough.
Was enough to go to India?
Yeah.
That's great.
Gonna have to cover kind of third year finances and then go to India at the same time.
I
So I
love
was
that.
like, all right, burglars. It was kind of traumatic at the time. but
Okay, yeah,
in the long
sure.
run, thanks.
Not bad. Yeah. Okay. That's not a bad deal at all.
And while I was in India,
Okay.
I was in Ladakh, which is like up in the Himalayas.
Okay.
And I met two
Wow.
people who had just been in Taiwan for some time.
Okay,
And one
okay.
person who was going.
Okay.
And that kind of put Taiwan on the map a bit.
It's tough because at the beginning, most people don't really know of it, right?
Right,
Aside
right.
from, things are made in Taiwan, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Aside from that, right? Okay.
So-
Excellent. Okay, keep going.
I'm
just double checking that we're good. You just keep
sure.
going. Yeah,
I kind of knew that after university I wanted to travel again. I'd kind of very much got that bug by then,
okay.
and decided that teaching English would be a good way of doing it.
Sure, of course. Okay.
And gradually Taiwan won out.
Okay.
I had this sort of list of countries all over the place.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
And Taiwan kind of won out
Okay.
based on a lot of different
Beautiful.
stuff.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
I also the person who went to Taiwan and is still here actually.
Okay.
He was keeping a blog at that time too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I was kind of
okay.
like reading about it and being like, this place is a lot more
Sounds
intriguing
good.
than I thought it was.
yeah, for sure.
So
It's
that
hard to
helped
find
a lot.
info on Taiwan, really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, aside maybe China maybe covering it up a little bit, and then just
Right.
people looking at maybe Japan or Okinawa or Korea or Thailand or something. So Taiwan doesn't get that much press, but it's amazing here. I love it here.
Yeah.
I love it here. Yeah,
It's partly part of the reason I keep my own blog now. Is,
Yeah, okay.
That was a fairly big factor in me coming here.
Okay.
So, it's
Okay.
kinda
So
like
you
a
keep.
little-
Okay. Oh, you got to give me the link for the blog.
Yeah,
I didn't,
sure,
I didn't
sure.
see the blog. I'll attach it in the description.
It's called
Yeah.
Hidden Taiwan, and it's both actually quite hidden away on my website.
Okay.
too.
Okay.
yeah.
No, it's. Do you run your whole website and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's when you have the art, right? Plus adding the business side, right?
Yeah.
To that,
I've,
yeah.
I've
How
got-
long have you been selling the art for?
Since the first Taipei one,
Okay.
came out,
Okay.
which was 2013, I think.
Okay. Wow.
So
That's quite a while.
ago
Okay.
now, yeah.
Okay. So the food and the drinks will be coming. This is horchata. I don't know if you really know.
Oh, okay.
So
I
it's
don't know.
it's like a Mexican sort of a sweet sort of a drink. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, the other drinks will be here in a sec.
All right, and that's I'm guessing just water.
And that's water. Yeah. No, it's vodka. No.
Oh.
We go hard here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite
That's
the
right.
podcast.
That's a lot of vodka. Yeah. It's a good one. Yeah. So back to like the childhood. You just started. You didn't learn sort of the art that you do. You just kind of did it on your own, and you started on your own, and you just said, like, that's pretty incredible. Yeah. So as a kid, you just were like, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was just. It just felt natural.
Okay.
In a sort of way, and I kind of approached it the same way I do now. Like, I want to make something that looks maybe like this, so I'm gonna work out how to do it and how to do it.
Okay, that's pretty wow.
That's kind of how, like, even now, if I'm like, I want to try something like this, then
okay.
I'll
So that's obviously one of the questions. Like, what is the process from saying, okay, I want to do this, to it being complete? So obviously it's a long process.
It is, yeah.
But
it can be like
so what's kind of like the inspiration to be like, I want to paint, or I want to draw Tianmu, or I want to draw Da Dao Cheng or something.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good question. They kind of all have slightly different motivations, I think. Like some of them, like the Taipei one.
Yeah.
That was... I draw Nottingham. I think that's...
Nottingham is... You want to move it?
Sure,
okay,
yeah.
So all you got to do is just hold it down and then drag it.
Okay. That's pretty...
Yeah.
I
should be, hopefully. Just be inside the box.
Oh, no,
and you're
I
good.
can't mess that up. There we go.
There you go, yeah. Okay. So obviously that is a massive map.
It's huge, this one. Yeah. This is 150 something by 60.
Do you want some salsa? Okay, we'll do green
okay.
Salsa. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just bring one green. It's okay. Thanks.
I usually got to zoom in on 101 because that's
okay.
kind of...
So,
most
wow.
people know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I draw Nottingham, which is where I went to university.
Yeah.
Before
I've got that here. You want to pop that one
no,
up?
that's a newer one of Nottingham.
Okay.
It's not the old one.
Okay.
And it was kind of like a visual diary-esque thing for my time in Nottingham. And I was like, I'd quite like one of these of Taipei as well.
Okay.
I kind of liked having my time in Nottingham.
It's all good. Just ignore me, man. I just want to make sure we get your story. Yeah.
So I'd never tried drawing a massive city like this before.
What is the process of that? I mean, you have a bird's eye view, or how is that possible? It looks like you're looking down.
Yeah,
right?
that's back when I was making this. I used to go up some of the taller buildings and take photos looking down. Because at that time, like even something like Street View wasn't really that well developed.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I would go up kind of various towers in the city and kind of get an overview of that, and then go down some of the main roads. Okay. But also with this one, I mean, I never really expected anyone other than me and my like immediate family would see this. So,
okay.
So like, there's parts that are a bit more invented than others.
Yeah.
And the way I kind of chose where to draw it was just where my life was at that time. Like this was after year 1 or 2 in Taiwan. Okay. And most of where I was staying and working and living was between sort of Herping Road down there. Okay. And then Nanjing Road at the top. Okay. So a lot of people are always like, "Why didn't you put NTU on, and why didn't you put Shillin on?"
Of course,
yeah. It's like, well, at the time,
what about my house? You
at the time,
my house on it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
At the time, I was like, "This is my life in Taipei."
Yeah.
I didn't realize tens of thousands of people would see it.
So I mean, so what happened there? Like, so you're doing it. You're drawing yourself. I saw some of your interviews. You were talking to your parents, thinking maybe you're going to go back. Yeah. And then something happened and kept you here.
Right. So. I was thinking of going home because I spent by then 2 years or so in Taiwan, I think. And I was like, I'm ready to, I was enjoying English teaching, but I knew it wasn't something I wanted to do forever.
Sure. Okay.
So I was like making preparations to go home.
Okay.
And then, I put a few of my friends had seen this by that point, and they've been like, "Can we get like a poster or something of that?"
I'll pull that back up here so we can see your face. You want to keep it like the other one?
No, it's okay. It's fine. Okay. So I was like, "All right, I'll look into making posters, prints, or something."
Yeah. Okay. And so, how do you do something like that when first you're doing it kind of like as a hobby, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I'm going to go find posters. Like,
well, that was quite hard to do, actually.
That's why I ask. Yeah, because when you take your hobby, and you go, you take your hobby and you kind of turn it into like your business. Yeah. So
I'm very indebted to my partner at the time for helping me kind of find print shops and print factories and stuff that could make that.
Beautiful.
So we had this I made a sort of first print run of about 50, which was just going to be for friends, really.
Yeah.
But then I posted the drawing up on Facebook.
Yeah.
On just my personal Facebook page, not even
a business page.
No, I didn't even have an art page back then.
Okay.
And a friend was like, "Can I share this? Can you make it public so I can share this?"
Okay.
And thinking nothing of it, I was like, "Sure, whatever. Knock yourself out, go."
Okay.
And then I woke up the next morning and there was like 400 messages in my inbox and just,
I want it. Yeah.
Tons of friend requests and all this.
Really?
Like,
okay. Wow.
What's happened?
Like, what happened? Yeah. Woke up in another world. Yeah.
Yeah. And then suddenly, like a few days later, kind of media started contacting me.
Really?
And this kind of
right,
thing.
like that.
I was like, I was so completely unprepared.
Okay. Of course. Okay.
So there was this mad rush of, like it was really fortunate that I'd got a print shop in place and you had all that stuff ready, tubes and stuff, and I was ready for if someone messaged me and was like, "Can we get one?" I was ready then. I used to go to MRT stations with like a stack of like
just kind of walking around.
And meet people at the stations. For that was kind of how I did it the first.
So how long ago was this?
What year was this? Who knows? 2013 maybe.
2013.
I'm thinking. Very end of 2012, start of 2013, I started doing that.
Beautiful.
And then, and then from that I was like, okay, I'd better make an art page for this. Just, get this a little bit more professional looking.
Okay, of course, yeah.
And then years later, the original posters I was making were not the best kind of quality.
Okay.
They were fine as posters, but for like long-lasting artwork or anything.
Sure. Well, I mean, you just jumped in and you're like, okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Right. So switched more to sort of doing the kind of high-quality side of things. In the end.
Of course. Well, whenever you start a business, it's always like that, right? You're just kind of like we started our business. We were in a night market, and we were just like weren't quite ready to start. My wife wanted to do a coffee shop. I said that's kind of tough because there's so many.
Yeah.
And my family's Mexican, so I said, okay, let's try. Maybe we'll try Mexican, and so let's not do this. Let's do a stand because if no one buys it, I mean, we're only out maybe a couple 100,000 NT or whatever, 100,000 NT to set it up. If you build something like this and nobody comes, you're kind of you're screwed a little bit, right? So basically,
it's a very competitive industry.
Yeah, it's very competitive. So basically. Yeah, we started that, and I guess at the beginning was definitely tough. We were definitely not ready. We didn't even know how to get a stall. We were just in a night market one day, and this milk tea lady was there, and we just said, you know what, we always buy your milk tea. How do you get this stall? And she said, well, I'm quitting this month, so if you want this spot, it's available in 2 weeks.
Okay, you're just like, that's pretty cool. I've always wondered how night markets work.
Yeah, me too. Because you don't really know until you go in there, right? And so she said the guy beside her selling sausages owns the building, so he owns the land in front of the building.
Okay.
So talk to him, and he's like, yeah, these places go like this. You want it, bring your deposit in the next day or two. So we just kind of sat at home, and we're like, still teaching, still coaching soccer. We're like, okay, let's go. So we put the money down, and we're definitely not ready. So
you sort of learn as you go along, hey.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's very much the case for me too.
Business story, yeah. Beautiful.
Even when when I was starting out, like I'd never been to art school or anything like this, and I don't know if you learned this stuff at art school or not. But stuff like how to deal with commissions and this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. To be honest, I would imagine you probably don't. I've now obviously never been to art school either, but I've never been to a chef school or a business school or anything. And it's just try. And then, if you fail, you learn something and try to fix it. And that's basically
kind of how it went.
Yeah. Okay. So now, like I was saying earlier, when we had a lot of the customers that came in today, they were all saying, hey, we got Tom Rook today. You got Tom Rook today. I'm like, yeah, come and say hi. So maybe you'll get some people coming by. So that's really cool. Yeah. No, it's really cool.
I mean, Tabitha was here a while ago.
I think she's outside having a beer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous of her. I want a beer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, you can have it if you want, but it's on you. Yeah. It's on you. Whatever you want, man. It's all on me today. Yeah.
And so she's always been a really great supporter.
Okay.
So it's nice to see her.
I think in Tianmu, it's a pretty unique place.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of at the beginning of next month, there's sort of an art group that they're going to come and they're going to set up a bunch of art stuff in the front and do like a arts and crafts fair market thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and at Tianmu, it's like a really small kind of community, and people from the States and from the UK and from all over Europe, and everybody's just kind of, it's pretty cool. It's a cool spot.
It's a nice
so Tianmu's
group,
nice.
Actually. Yeah. I did some work with, the Community Services Center?
Yeah, not too far from here. Yeah.
I held an exhibition there a couple of years ago.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
They've always, I run tours with them as well, actually.
Oh, really? Nice.
I've got next month.
What kind of tour? Now I'm curious.
I take people around Dada Chen and also around Wanhua, kind of introducing the history. Because if you make these drawings, you end up getting curious.
You need to know, right?
You're like, what is this place? What is the story there? Okay. So I ended up doing a ton of research and then being like, I feel like I kind of want to do something with all this research.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I started giving tours around
this
year.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, so I did an exhibition in the center, and then I met a bunch of the sort of Tianmu community through that.
It's a good community, and I think if you take care of the people, they come out. We used to be in Danshui. Danshui is also great, but it's a little bit different, sort of like let's say spending power wise, right? So in Danshui, at the end of the month, business would be slow, and you talk to all the other business owners, and they'd be like, "Oh, Eddy, Eddy, end of the month, right? No one has money. Right. People get paid on the 5th or the 10th. By the end of the month, no one has money." And then when we came to Tianmu, that was gone. I mean, there's no more Eddy in Tianmu. Yeah. And then sometimes in Danshui, it'd be like December would be cold and wet, and it'd be like the beginning of the month. And I'm like, oh my gosh, business sucks. And you go over, talk to the other business owners, and I'm like, what's going on? How's business? And they're like, oh, Niandi. Oh, Niandi.
Okay,
I'm
right,
like, oh.
Right.
So there's Eddy and Niandi. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh God, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And then you come out, and if you come to Tianmu, it's kind of a special place where we don't have to deal with that stuff. And so you just have to make sure it's good and take care of people. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. You got your nachos there. Your shake should be here.
Yeah, that's cool.
We can pull up another picture if you want to talk about that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you want to pull up, man?
Let's go with maybe one of the newer ones.
All right.
Let's go with this one actually, because this is one I'm currently working on.
Okay.
It's this is a very small part of what will be quite a large drawing.
Okay.
It's kind of like I was talking about earlier about Taipei being kind of like the Taipei one being kind of like a diary-esque thing.
Yeah.
But it's so far back that you can't really put people on there or put traffic on there or stuff. So I was kind of missing some of the life of Taipei streets with that. So for a long time I wanted to almost zoom in to the point where I could put some of that on there. So I
also noticed that some of them they're starting to have color, right?
Oh, some of them, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, is that something newer that you started to add, or is just you're like, I love that guy's shirt, I want his pink shirt on there, or something?
I'll only usually put color on there if I think it'll enhance it in some way. I'm very fussy with color.
Okay, yeah.
And I find sometimes, something like the sort of big Taipei one.
Okay, yeah.
You can't almost do color on that without it being a complete, at least accurate color. You can't really do that without it being a real mess of just everything.
Understand.
I like coloring something like the insect ones, like that one.
Yeah.
But that's still just
it's
some of the
out
lines. There might be
there is another insect one. I think it's this one. This one right here. Wow.
Is it? Oh, mantis and grasshopper, right?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of blue and purple on that, but it's only really visible if you get up close. I like just doing some accents in color sometimes. Okay. And then that one, I kind of just got a paintbrush and kind of flicked a bunch of ink paint all over it. Wow. I was like, please don't spill all the ink paint.
Yeah.
It's okay, just to draw.
Every splash.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll do that. With the Tonghua one, so it's there. Oh no, it isn't.
Which one are we looking for? The Tonghua, this one?
This one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That one kind of has to have color because some of the stuff on there will need color.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a little bit where I kind of drew my landlady and her friends.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And they're always wearing sort of magenta violet clothes. Okay. And I thought like they kind of look like a street gang.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
I was like, okay, I want to actually color them, so they've got their like gang colors on.
Beautiful. Okay.
And then
don't mess with the Amaz,
stuff like blue trucks and taxis and stuff. I gotta get color on for that.
Okay.
And then I was thinking with this one, just coloring like say the roofs or maybe the trees probably as well for sure. Okay. And the people and the traffic.
Okay.
So this one will just be my neighborhood, like around Tonghua Night Market. Okay. And it'll have lots of kind of little scenes that I've seen over the last years I've been living there. Okay. So are you like just drawing all day or is it like, okay, this is my drawing time, like punch in, punch out type deal, or is it like I'm going to do this for 3 weeks and then I'm going to stop for a week? What's kind of your routine to do something like this? It's very inconsistent.
No, that's also one of the problems when you run your own business, right? You know, some people are always talking about TV shows and series, and I'm like, I rarely watch any because I mean, with the restaurant, and I have enough, sometimes I have enough staff. Usually, like right now, I'll be like, I'll just watch this whole series in like a day, and I won't go to work. So that's why I try not to watch TV. Yeah.
I think for me, like say for the last 4 days or so, I've pretty much just been drawing for kind of 8 hours. Okay. Getting a lot done like that. But then, like today, I kind of went to the gym in the morning and then like did some house stuff and then ended up coming here leaving for here around 5 something. So I only really did like a couple of hours. Okay. Today. And you do everything at home? Do you have like a giant desk? I saw in your video you use the floor. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, I was just doing that.
For the video.
Just piecing stuff together. I don't really do that anymore.
This was the one. Is that part of your giant board?
That's the drawing board in the background.
Okay. Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah. So that's. I mean, I'm sat on the floor there, and I lowered it for the photo because I couldn't get a good angle.
Yeah, no, it's trust me, angles and
right.
Jeez, and when you start dealing with audio, it's even worse, man.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
All right, cool. I draw on that. Really, I need a bigger one now. I mean, that one is only, I think it's about 80, 90 cm across. Okay. It's quite big, but it's now it's if I want to do something really landscape. Okay. It would be nice to have some bigger space on it. Okay. I think. But yeah, I'll maybe I could get something like that custom made. I'm not really sure.
Probably, yeah. I mean, the nachos are here if you want to eat. Yeah, sure. I mean, I know that some people are like, I don't want to eat on camera, but
I'm a little self-conscious about that.
It's okay. Well, there you go. It's no pressure. We could have had it after, but
sure. Yeah. I'll have it afterwards. Just now.
It's okay. No problem, man.
Just I like to be kind of totally into it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll throw it back in the oven later. We'll eat it. All right. Later. Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. So my schedule's pretty all over the place.
Okay. And is this full time, or are you doing some other things as well?
This is full time for the last 4 years, I think.
Beautiful. Okay.
And it was very much part time for a few years too. I was just teaching,
course, you have to start that way. Yeah.
Teaching 3 days a week. Okay. Doing some other work.
And then, so 4 years, you decided you stopped and you went full in.
Yeah.
Okay. And how has it been since then?
Apart from 2018, it's been pretty good. Okay. 2018 was just very slow, and I was very much sort of doubting if I'd made the right choice.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that happens for sure. Yeah. Okay.
So 2018, I nearly kind of went back to teaching actually.
I think the good thing about Taiwan is you can just try. You can just go for it. Yeah. And if really worst comes to worst, you can still teach, right?
Exactly.
I taught here for many years, and then even for the first few years we had the stand and stuff like that. I was still doing part-time and all that. I think it's safe, and I think, I mean, you look pretty young. You're a pretty young guy. So I think when you're young, just give it a shot, man. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, you just got to give it a shot. I think, a lot of people, they kind of debate it. Oh, should I do this? That's not safe. and then they kind of debate it, I think, too long, and then they just don't give it a shot. And I think Taiwan, it's a pretty safe place to go for it.
I think if you're in your 20s, you should be taking a risk like that.
Take the risk, yeah.
If you've not got like dependents or like a family to support or something, then I think if you're in your 20s or even early to mid 30s, that risk is not. It's one that you should be taking at that point.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to regret it if you don't.
That's the thing. Yeah. It's tough. So art is something that's, I mean, it can be taught theoretically, I guess, but somebody like you just pick up a pen and you just kind of go for it.
Yeah.
Does that come from somewhere in the family? Do you have artists in the family, or is it just something? Is it because of all the drawings you saw as a kid, the schematic things that you would see?
No, it might be.
Yeah?
I'm not totally sure where it comes from.
Just grabbed a pen. Is it a pen or a felt or
I use like really fine liner pens, so it's like
super fine,
really fit, like millimeter nibs, that kind of thing.
And is that an easy thing to find, or is that a custom?
They're in every kind of stationery store here.
Okay. So you don't have a sponsor from them yet? I mean, they should be like...
No, sadly.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah, we got
I'm always breaking them, so...
Yeah, I would imagine. You got to get the sponsorship and be like...
They have a really irritating habit of falling on their nibs if you drop them.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's like this tiny, delicate, like 0.05 millimeter nib, it's like gone.
Then it's toast, yeah?
Yeah.
And you probably go through a bunch of them.
I go for a ton of them,
okay. We've got to try to find a sponsor for that then. A pen sponsor. Be like...
Hi, Unipin, if you're listening.
Some pen sponsors, yeah. Excellent.
So... Yeah, I know at least like one great grandfather was a painter and he painted ships.
Okay. Beautiful.
And then my mum liked drawing for sure. She's probably watching this, so I'll be like, "Yeah, mum, your art's great. Well done."
Hi, mom. Yeah.
So maybe I get it. That's from her side of the family too. That great grandfather.
Okay.
I don't know if he's like ever a well-known painter or not. I don't think so.
Okay.
But there was a painting of his always up in my grandparents' house.
Okay. Beauty.
So it maybe comes from there. But a lot of what I do is just trial and error. Like, I mean, something... Let's see if I can get that one up. Like, something like that, it's not something I really make very often, and it's in a really weird perspective. Like, kind of... I was using,
That's close to my house, yeah. So that's kind of close to where I live. That's Tianmu,
if
right?
People don't know what that is. That's looking out across Tianmu to Yangmingshan.
Yeah.
Is that this? I forget the name of that creek, like Shuang.
I don't remember that. I don't even know the names. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
The Sulphur Creek.
I walk it like every day, but I don't remember the name. Yeah.
So that one I was using like several different panoramic photos as references.
Oh, okay.
But unfortunately, they were all somewhat different perspectives.
Okay.
So it was really quite difficult getting it all to gel together.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I just do a kind of trial and error thing.
Start to end, something like that. How long does that take? I mean, it looks like
that one took a while.
A long time.
That was a couple of months. I think.
Okay.
It was quite large as well.
So every day you're chipping away at one, or do you do multiple things at the same time?
Usually I just have one, but at the moment I've got two things going.
Okay.
This was also a commission piece.
Okay.
So they take a lot longer because I'm a lot more scared about making mistakes.
That's hilarious. Hey.
And I'm always really grateful if someone commissions me and lets me do something quite different like that from normal.
So commission piece to do something like that, they contact you and say, I want you to do Dan Shui, Fisherman's Wharf or something.
Kind of like that usually.
Yeah, and then you're like, all right.
I mean, I drew, Tianmu also did just regular map of Tianmu I did was the same.
Yeah, I couldn't, I'm sorry I couldn't bring that one up. I don't know
that was
why
my
this
fault
thing,
for sending it in
I didn't know why. That's the first time the image just didn't work,
Yeah, I sent it to you in TIFF format by accident.
Yeah, it's
so it's someone will usually come to me. The couple who wanted this one, they asked me to basically redraw parts of Tianmu and extend the Tianmu map southwards. And I was kind of like, we could do that, but I'm going to get really bored doing that because I feel like I already drew Tianmu.
Okay.
And I was like, and then they kind of were like, well, we have this like beautiful view from our apartment and we'd like to take that back to America with us.
So you're like, I'm moving in.
And I was like, yeah,
all right.
No, like I said, we got a load of reference photos from there and I did it from that.
It's really cool, man.
And so I was like, okay, yeah, I can try this. It might not work, but I was like, we'll give it a go.
Okay.
So it's always slower doing commissions because, especially, you know, if it's going to be in someone's house forever, you kind of want it to go well.
That looks great, to be honest. That looks, of course, right? That looks fantastic.
I was really happy with how that one turned out, yeah.
So on your website, you sell replicas, you sell originals. I went through you sell T-shirts.
I do, yeah.
You got your own merchandise. He's got his own merch store. The link is in the description,
yeah.
which is
got,
cool.
Like, weird sizes left at the moment, but there are some. Yeah,
the men's large goes right away.
Yeah,
right. Men's large, men's XL gone right away, right?
Yeah.
And then the women's XS is probably still sitting there, right? We do the shirts for the restaurant, and it's always like that, you know. Right. I need 3 larges, and I'm like, well, I have a medium, 2 small, and a 4XL. So that's awesome. Yeah, for the one guy that shows up that wants it and needs a 4XL, right?
Yeah. That's exactly how it goes. Yeah, I probably won't continue to do T-shirts.
It's
like
it's tough and it's kind of stressful, right? Because it's
right.
you know, maybe you make a little bit on the shirt, but you never have the right size,
right? And
then it's kind of, you know, disappointing, right? Yeah. But I think it's cool. So you found a T-shirt company, you sent them your print, and they did it.
Yeah. It's quite
because they're pretty cool. I would get a shirt. Yeah.
Because initially we had a different factory and they were laser printed on.
Oh wow!
And it was hard to find a factory that could laser print something in that amount of detail.
Oh, of course.
The last batch are more sort of more traditionally screen printed on.
Okay.
And it looks nice, but I kind of preferred the laser print ones a bit more. But that factory, the quality went, and they just weren't. It was almost like they weren't paying much attention.
That's
we had to change.
That's unfortunately a part of business that I found here. When you deal with you know, like a B2B thing for a while, a lot of people, they're just like, oh, he's a good guy, you know, loyal. They build up this loyalty, and then, I mean, I'm not saying it's specific to here. It could be anywhere, right? It's just I have my experience here, and you know, they just start to send you vegetables that are not as fresh,
right?
You know, the meat's not as fresh, and you get it, and I'm like, what happened to these tomatoes? They're not good anymore. And they're just like, oh, they kind of hide them, and you know, eventually, if you find a good one, it's good to stay with them. But a lot of times, you know, things start to dip, and it's a bit of a bummer, actually. Yeah,
it is totally, and it ends up just being so much work trying to fix up that sort of thing that it's like, and so much work for like a Taiwanese friend was helping with that too, and it's so much work for him, and I felt kind of bad. Like,
So speaking of that, I noticed obviously in your video you were speaking some Chinese, right? So did you go to study some Chinese or stuff you just picked up?
I studied for half a year at Wenhua Daxue.
Okay.
And back in
way back
before even I released any of these drawings, it was 2012 maybe I was doing that.
Okay.
And it was fun. Like that got me up into like basics.
Okay.
And then I've kind of had tutors on and off over the years, but I feel like I'm always just hovering around book 3 of 5 all the time. I never seem to like be able to get past that.
I know that feeling well, man. I've been here for almost 20 years, and then I was changing schools one time, and this was way back. And it's a long story, but the school I was leaving, the manager wanted me to take her out. I didn't want to take her out, so they blacklisted me. So I had to get a student visa in between schools. And at that time, they were really cracking down. Okay. And so they said, you know, they're really thank you. So they're really cracking down. So you had to go. I don't know how it is now, but there was a point way back where people were just working on student visas and not going to class. And then at that point, they were cracking it down. So I'm like, I'm going to go. So I said, if I'm here, I might as well learn the Bapamafa and all that. So this was way back. And so it actually helped me a lot with the basics. And then with the business, you use it a lot. So it's pretty decent. But also I feel that it's been plateaued for I don't know how long. You know, it's decent, I think. Like I can speak with people. I've even done a couple podcasts in it. But I feel it's plateaued. So I'm thinking there's a new school that just opened up there. And I don't know, maybe I'll go take a one-on-one class just to kind of grow the vocabulary. Because sometimes... yeah, like there are words where you're like, I want to use that word, and you're just missing this one piece. For you to nail this like story, you're missing that one word, and it's weird.
It's weird. Same. I had a tutor up until June, I think, this year. And we were together for about a year.
Okay.
And actually, Chinese really improved a lot during that time. And I was kind of watching Taiwanese TV shows and being like, I actually get what's going on for the first time ever. We stopped during the lockdown because we switched to online classes, and I just couldn't concentrate doing it through doing it online. I found like if I spent all day drawing, looking at really tiny details and then looking at screen, back to tiny details. But my eyes were just tired by the evening, by the class time. So I'm thinking to start that up again.
I mean, I think it's good. I mean, the better the Chinese is, the better you can kind of have a life here, right? Like I said, my wife is Taiwanese. We have a daughter, and like I said, mine is pretty decent. But I also feel like I've plateaued somewhere, and sometimes you meet another foreigner or something that did like 2 years intense, and they're just like, whoa, like damn, dude, like oh man, I've been here for 20 and you've been here for 2, and
it's
you speak better than I do. That sucks. Then I'm like, damn it, I need to go back.
It's kind of embarrassing.
It is, for sure. It's crazy.
I feel like the stuff like writing and reading, I feel like I don't forget, but speaking and listening just goes like downhill pretty quickly.
Speaking of that, that's a really good point. I would imagine that reading and writing for you would be easy.
Yeah, much better at that.
Because I'm awful. I mean, zero art skills. So when I would actually go to a class where I had to learn any kind of reading and writing, I'd hold up the class. I was just so bad at it. The other people in my class were Japanese, Korean, and so they're just kind of like tick, 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 and I'm just like tick. See you, man. I just kind of be like tick and then look up, tick and then look up, and everybody's like test time. It's pretty embarrassing, but
I used to really I'm the total opposite. I used to really annoy my American Canadian classmates.
Oh, I bet you're crushing everybody.
Because I'd look at I do no sort of prep work for the test for
that's
characters.
Awesome. Okay.
Look at it for like 10 minutes before the test and get like full marks on that.
Those
I'm
skills.
used to that observation kind of thing.
No, that's cool because the skills totally transfer then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a pretty cool point. Yeah, because the talking skills is like, you can almost even bullshit your way through if you don't understand. You can still keep going, but then the reading and writing, I'm just like I'm lost.
Yeah,
like it's almost not quite. Well, writing is probably 0 now.
Okay.
Reading is.
I mean,
not quite 0, but not. Yeah.
With writing, I'm only ever really writing in pinyin on my phone.
Okay.
I'm not really apart from addresses, I'm not really handwriting anything anymore.
But I mean, for you to write a character, it's probably easy, right? Just kind of like tick, tick, tick. Wow.
Everyone says I have like really nice handwriting.
Of course you do. I mean,
to me, it just looks like computer writing, like when you write Chinese on a computer.
Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to get it clear because when people write stuff in their regular handwriting, I'm like, that just looks like a scribble to me now. Like I know these characters, but it's just
it's crazy. Yeah, that's amazing. I never would have thought that. It does make sense that the skill transfers over. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because whenever I go and there's any really important things that I need to sign, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, no, sign it in Chinese, and I'm like, even my name, because my last name is Gong, like Gonzalez, right? So Gong with the dragon on there. I'm like, and then like my last name's like that, and then the other 2 characters are like a kid. It's really bad.
My friend gave me like a really cool Chinese name a while back, and because for a long time it was just Lu Tang Mu, like and it's like the tang for soup and the mu for mother. So I was like, I don't think soup mother's a great name.
Soup mama.
Right. I was like, okay, let's change this. And so she gave me a name that was like something like Solemn Forest or something. And I was like, that sounds a bit more badass. Okay.
That's cool. Yeah.
But I perennially forget how to write that.
Okay, really? I mean, for me, like when I have to sign anything at the banks, I just like, can I just sign it in English? And they're like, no, you got to do that. And so I'll sit there for like 10 minutes writing my last name out, trying to make it not this big. It's like, you got this much space, and it's like that.
When it's like massively expanded over everything else.
It's so bad. Yeah. And they just look at me like, how long you been here? Cool, your Chinese is really good. How long you been here? 20 years. And they're like, you can't write your name. I'm like, not really. No, sorry. Yeah.
And also, like, I find you just use the chop stamps for so much that you can
for sure.
You end up just getting very lazy. It's like, I'll just stamp it.
Yeah. Let me see. So what do you recommend for kids drawing? What should they focus on?
For children drawing?
Kids, yeah, children drawing, yeah.
I wouldn't say like they had to really focus on anything. I just let them draw exactly what they want to.
Just let the kids run wild, yeah?
Pretty much,
okay.
Yeah.
My daughter actually really likes drawing, and I have zero skill. My wife kind of paints, and so she'll draw something. Everyone thinks their kid is good, but it's pretty decent, and I think, she didn't get that from me. So sometimes she'll draw something, and she'll be like, "Oh, come and draw with me," and I'm drawing like a stick man. It's really bad. She's kind of like, "That's okay, Dad. I'll just draw by myself."
Yeah.
You just ruined the whole picture.
I don't think my parents ever told me what to draw. I think they were always just like, "Here's some paper, here's some pens, go for it."
You know what? I think that's really important, because I used to do that with my daughter before she was old enough to just grab an iPad, right? And I think that after the iPad, the creativity just kind of like dips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because before she would just sit there, and she still does draw these sort of intricate things, but she'd rather just grab the iPad and watch YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's also an issue, I think, now. Like,
tough,
obviously, when I was a kid,
me neither,
in like 90s Britain,
there
wasn't any kind of distractions like that. Yeah. It's like we have 4 TV channels, and that's it.
And they're in the commercials every few minutes. And
yeah.
Oh, shoot, I didn't even...
we got
You want to try that?
This is
Got
cool.
the smoothies, yeah.
So like rainy winter days in England, wasn't all that much else to do.
Yeah.
We had
I would imagine England's similar to Canada, the weather-wise.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I wouldn't say to tell them to draw anything.
Okay.
Just give them a bunch of material so they can experiment with different stuff, like some charcoal one day, some like paint the other day.
Okay.
And see what happens. Like,
there you go.
You might. It wasn't until 10 years ago that I really went into this style that I like now. But before then, I was drawing portraits a lot more. And
are you able to?
Sort of thing.
Yeah, like the people and stuff like that. You can kind of.
I used to be okay at faces.
Yeah?
I don't know if I still be. It's been a long time since I drew that.
Okay.
I was always terrible with bodies.
Okay.
But faces I could get.
Okay.
And
eyes are tough. No.
Eyes are tough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think if I stuck at it by now, I'd be probably quite good at it.
Okay.
It was not, it was teenage kind of year.
Okay, that's cool. Very
cool.
Cool. I remember teaching kindergarten way back. You're teaching animals, and you draw like a little pig or something, and they're like, "Monkey, cow, it's a cow. No, it's a bear." I'm like, "It's a pig." And they're like, "That's not a pig." And I'm like, "But look at the little tail." They're like, No, that's not a pig. And like when a 5-year-old's telling you it's crap what you're doing, you're like, man. Yeah. It's pretty tough. Very tough.
Even I got that. Like,
yeah.
I remember drawing an airship.
Okay.
In one class, and the kids were like, "Flying Digua." It's like, that's not a sweet potato.
That's awesome. I like that. That's cool. That's cool.
At least they got it was flying over.
Yeah, well, at least it's flying. Yeah. But a pig and a bear and a monkey, they're just like, it's a monkey. And I'm like, look at the tail. It's not a monkey. Look at the nose. It looks like a monkey. You're like, oh, wow, okay.
So, that's... you'll always have stuff you can do, stuff you can't.
Yeah, of course. No, for sure.
I kind of liken it sometimes to being in like a part of an orchestra. Like someone's going to be really good at cello.
Yeah.
But possibly a bit crap at trumpet.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, man.
They're going to understand the basic theory behind playing the trumpet, but not be very great at executing it.
I also think like natural talent, right? Like that's like you were saying, you just started as a kid with a pen and a pad or a pencil and a pad, and you just kind of went for it, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. And you never went to school for it, and your stuff is fantastic. So I think that there's a lot of...
No, you didn't even get to do it in high school, because I showed a bunch of drawings to my art teacher in, I would have been 14 at the time.
Yeah, and they're like,
Well, I'd drawn a bunch of dragons and this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And she was a very old school art teacher who wanted just drawings of artichokes and flowers and still lifes.
Okay.
So she was like, you can't do GCSE art if you're drawing dragons.
That's so funny. And
I was like, well, I don't want to do it then if I get to draw I want to. So I didn't.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, well, obviously you're doing your own business now, right? So you've done that full time now for 4 years, right? With Tom Rook Art. The link's in the description if anyone's watching. How does it feel now that you're doing that full time? Like, how are you coping with like having to do all the business end stuff, and how does it like differ than what you thought? I mean, is it exactly what you thought it would be, or?
It's not exactly what I thought it would be.
Okay.
I mean, I love it, really.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You know, sometimes I grumble about certain things, but I do overall
we all do.
really like doing it.
Yeah, okay.
I suppose I didn't realize social media would be such a big part of this job.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize just the sort of logistics and stuff of and just the amount of organization that goes into like holding an exhibition.
Okay.
Like
don't even know about that, but that's great. Okay,
those, you know, if there's a big exhibition like the one I had in Red Room the end of last year.
Okay.
That was really like a month of solid prep and just getting so much stuff framed and scanned and printed and getting merchandise ready and then marketing it as well.
Marketing is
that's
like
hard,
90% of the whole business, unfortunately, right? In any business, right? I mean,
right. I'm not very good at marketing.
It's
hey
man. Well, speaking of that video, the Sleep
I'm
video,
very grateful for
that was
marketing for me. Yeah,
because my wife loves art, right? And we love it, and that video popped up, and I was like, wow, that's really cool, and it's a foreign guy doing the art, and I said, you know what, I'm going to see if I can contact him, and thanks for coming. I appreciate that, man.
I didn't know. Yeah, I wondered where you've seen it. Because I think someone shared it recently, like one of the.
It might have been magazines. That. Yeah.
Because I noticed like a bunch of new Instagram people.
Nice.
Following, and I was like, where are these like coming from?
Yeah, yeah.
And then one messaged me saying like, hey, I just saw your video here, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice.
That's really I think it's great. And I think videos like that are like almost like timeless, right? I mean, you can share it like every month or every couple of months. You could just share it, or if somebody shares it, like it's got a lot of views. Like
it was really
25,000, 30,000 or something big.
Oh no, it's like in the millions now.
Yeah, oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I think the last time I checked,
looking at the other one. Yeah.
About 2 million.
There you go.
So I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's a lot.
Millions. Yeah. So in the world, people with videos that are in the millions. I mean, there's not very many that have million, view videos, which is amazing, man.
So that was really cool. Yeah. It was really, they did like a really excellent job of it.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's super well done.
Sometimes I felt like as I was being interviewed by them that I wasn't like coming across right. I was not saying how I meant, how I wanted it to come across. But then the person editing it was brilliant.
They did
She was just like, I know exactly what you're trying to say. Like, yes, you actually do. Thank you so much.
The video is super well done. Yeah. So how did that come across? Like, how did they approach you for that?
They
said it was over a year ago, right?
Yeah, they saw an article in a magazine.
Okay.
Back when I was doing the exhibition at the center.
Beautiful.
A magazine interviewed me.
Okay.
And they saw that.
Okay.
It's funny, like if you.
So you never really know. I mean, what things are going to lead to, right?
Yeah, I mean,
video with
you
millions.
Saw it as well, and then it led
it's
to
amazing.
This.
I'm honored you're here, man.
From here, and it just kind of leaps on from that.
Well, that's kind of why I did this, because with the restaurant, you get to meet a lot of really cool people, and I get to hear all these stories that are just great. And sometimes I feel like this story needs to be shared, and there wasn't really a platform to do it. Right. So I thought, well, I'm going to start one. It'll be a little slow growing thing. But it's been about 2 years. It's going pretty good, man.
It's pretty cool you do this.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, man. I love it. And then I saw yours, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So I think it's fantastic. I love it, man. I love it.
That's good. Yeah, people kind of find it through that sort of thing. I can trace a lot back to a comment I left on the Taipei Times article.
Yeah, really?
And then the Taipei Times saw that and did an article. And then more people saw that article, and then more people saw the next one, and it sort of really almost leapfrogs along like that.
It's I had
it's really interesting.
A lot of people. It's really cool, right? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that have come here and done the show. Like I've had a professional MMA fighter who he was talking about. It's pretty tough to be a pro fighter. Sometimes the pay's not that good, and they still got to pay the coaches and do all this stuff. So we're talking about that, and like 2 days later, he's like, "Hey, man, I got this new sponsor from, I can't remember where, from the States." He said, "They just told me write out, your monthly expense, and we'll send it to you every month." And I was like, "What? Yeah, that's amazing!" That's really cool. And I'm so happy. I was like, "Yeah, this is great." Like they saw the video, and because of the video, they saw another like a huge MMA company went and did like a profile video on him. They flew to Thailand and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, this is great!" Just from chatting. So it's pretty cool, man. Yeah. And this last week again, another guy 2 weeks ago, we did a video, and the guy who's coaching soccer from the UK as well, football. Sorry, yeah,
yeah,
football. Right. Yeah, my UK friends, they always, they're like, it's football. All right, it's football. So okay, so when he coaches football, he also got hooked up with somebody that was also a previous guest who was looking for someone kind of with his expertise to help people take people overseas, and they're connected with the United States and help take some of the athletes and stuff. And he speaks pretty good Chinese, and it's like, oh, they contacted each other, and then boom, like a week later, I see that they signed some deal and they're doing something, and I'm like, hey, this is great. I'm like, yes, this is fantastic. Yeah,
it's like setting a sort of ball rolling.
Yeah, we're just kind of like connecting dots, right? So it's, I think it's pretty cool, man, and
so and it's
fun. Yeah.
Right. So
usually we go really spicy. We'll have some beers.
Yeah.
We'll do it again sometime when you're all feeling all better, man. Really fun.
Right. That'd be fun. Yeah. A lot of people either find me through that or occasionally when like social media posts have gone a bit more viral as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that social media
it's very useful.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah.
So that's always really good.
I love that, man. So you're doing Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, just those two.
Just those two? Yeah, that's enough.
They're enough.
That's enough. Yeah. It's a lot already.
I mean, because you've got this sort of posts you can make, and then also if it's the Facebook page, I tend to
share
try
it,
and
right?
translate all of those as well.
Yeah, okay.
Or at least hire someone to translate them too. And then but then there's the stories as well. And I quite like doing the Instagram stories.
The stories are good, yeah.
And I try and make those bilingual as well.
Okay, good. I think when you do something bilingual, you get a lot more views, a lot more hits. Yeah. So I try to make everything bilingual, but I post so much. Sometimes I'll use a Google Translate, and it sucks. It's so bad. And then my wife will be like, oh, who translated this for you? I'm like, Google translated it for me because you were busy. And so now, if I have the chance, I'll just grab one of my... Right now, most of my staff are not Taiwanese, but I'll grab a Taiwanese one and I'll be like, hey, translate this for me. So, like, just do it now. Let's go.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
I try and get it right because if I get it wrong...
Of course, yeah.
If I get it wrong, I tend to get messages in the inbox being like, it should be this, it should be that.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, I'm like, I know you're trying to be helpful, but...
Yeah, come on. You know what's even worse? When you get sort of a... Like I outsourced it to people and to companies, to many different things, right? Subtitles and stuff like that. And the first one came in, and it was in simplified, right? No. And I'm like, oh, fuck, don't you dare post that on my page in simplified. And they're just like, what? I'm like, no, because they were doing it, I think, from outside of Taiwan, China. So they're just kind of like, oh, this is the, I'm like, oh no, this was way back, obviously. So I'm like, yeah, no, don't you dare do that, because
it's really like. It's really hard to not mess that up with the historic stuff I do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Taiwanese history is pretty dramatic, and it's quite loaded with a lot of events that have different interpretations depending on what side of the political divide you're talking to.
I know, yeah.
So I've got in trouble before using the wrong term for the Japanese era, this kind of thing.
I can imagine,
I have to be like... Any time I either translate it or get someone to translate it, I have to sort of be really like, please don't call this that or something.
Yeah. It's so funny. I actually
because I made some historic ones.
Pull it up, man. Let's go.
Yeah, let's put this way. Oh wait, not that one. Oh yeah, well this is sort of.
There you go. Just click on the middle and drag it where you want to go.
You can kind of, if I move it down, because this is Taipei in the 1930s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you can recognize the presidential palace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
And that's 228 Park there.
So with the older ones, how are you getting the info? Like,
this was all old photos, old maps.
Wow. Okay.
Generally I was like, typing Taipei Zhejian or something, and or just different combinations of like historic old Chongqing South Road or something.
Okay, yeah.
And that would bring up a bunch of images, and then from there I'd find a blog that had like a ton of images on, or like an archive.
Okay.
There was also an overview of the city taken, I think, from American planes. But it was after they bombed the city, so several fairly important areas were like rubble. And I was like, okay, I need photos for those.
I need photos.
And that was just like, I could only see the roofs of those buildings.
Okay.
Same with Tainan. So I made a sort of twin drawing of this one that was Tainan.
Okay.
That's like Taipei main station.
And so when you're deciding on doing one, I'm going back, I guess, to that at the beginning. What motivates you to just be like, I want this one? Like
for this one,
for like this one, yeah.
I was kind of seeing a lot of old photos of Taipei.
Okay.
And just being kind of blown away by how different the city looks.
Apparently Tianmu was all farmland.
Yeah, it was.
50 years ago or something, right?
Yeah, I think Tianmu only really in 1950s it started to be built more.
Okay.
There's a few little enclave villages still that have some other older sort of farmhouses from it, but not very many.
All good, man. We're good, thank you.
And I was kind of like, this would look really interesting to put all these photos together in a drawing.
Yeah.
And no one's ever done it before.
Okay.
And it's going to be kind of like a challenge. So I kind of wanted to do it for those reasons.
Okay.
I figured it would be
really cool.
Yeah, I figured people would see the city in a very different way.
Do you have one of them that is like the most viewed or the most bought, or like one of them is like a bestseller, or are they all pretty even?
They're actually very uneven.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
The one most people, I'd say the ones people buy a lot of are Dadachen.
Okay.
The original Taipei one for sure, because that's got 101 on, and people see the landmarks on that one a bit more.
I saw that you postcard and stuff, right? You do postcards.
Yeah, a lot of people buy the postcards.
I would imagine those would be huge. I would think, right? Okay.
And Tianmu, a lot of people buy as well.
Okay. All the expats living here want to send postcards or something. Okay.
And then
okay.
Where else is pretty popular? Hsinchu and Taichung are fairly okay as well.
Okay.
I find like once you go south of Taichung, apart from Tainan, it's a lot slower. Like I've done a few. Jiayi was actually a commission.
Okay.
So they got the copyright for it.
Okay. Wow.
With that.
Okay.
They didn't really technically get the copyright. Our agreement was that I wouldn't make prints of it.
Okay.
But I usually with new drawings, even in that case, I'd get like a lot of inquiries from people being like, "Can we buy it? Can we buy it?" But Jiayi was like nothing.
Really? Oh, really? Okay.
And Kaohsiung as well was not like.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I've sort of like. I drew old Tainan in the same era as this, but compared to this one, the Tainan one is like a fraction of this one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know why that is. If it's
Taipei,
maybe just my own network.
Capital city. Yeah. Your network.
I wonder if my own network is just very Taipei focused or North Taiwan focused. Because Taichung does okay as well.
Okay.
And or maybe people down in South Taiwan don't buy this sort of thing, or just
I don't know.
Don't really hang stuff in their homes much. I'm not really entirely sure. Like, at least with the places I've gone into in, say, Kaohsiung or Tainan or stuff, walls are usually pretty bare. Like a bit, like some religious stuff up usually.
That's true. Yeah, the religious stuff is usually like really big.
Yeah, I'm wondering if most people down there kind of focus on religious art instead.
Yeah.
And so. Yeah, if I do bits of Kaohsiung or stuff, I'm always like, well, I know already this isn't going to sell very much, so I'm just doing this for the fun of doing it.
Okay. Yeah. I love this one. Here, let me pull that one up. That's amazing. I love the perspective of that with the eraser and the pen.
Thanks. Yeah,
pencils.
that was Hsinchu in progress.
So basically, this you kind of do like the light outline first. I mean, I don't know much about it. Okay.
I usually make an outline of the buildings first.
Okay.
Not for any particular reason. Like there's it would actually be quicker if I did the whole thing in one sitting rather than do it outline first, then go back and fill it in.
Okay.
It's kind of like I've realized it's a bit of a psychological trick I play on myself.
Okay.
Because once you get about a third of the way through one of these, there's still so much to do. You know, this one's like 2 meters across. And I mean, that's just a small part of it, but the entire thing's 2 meters across.
Okay. Wow.
And it's, once you've done just say 50 centimeters and there's still like a ton of stuff there.
Oh, it's like
you
daunting,
start lagging
right?
a little bit, and it becomes like, oh, this is actually quite daunting. Am I ever going to finish this?
Yeah.
So I find if you go through the outlines first, you just cover a lot more ground a lot more quicker.
Okay. It's psychological. Yeah.
Yeah, you're sort of like, but look, I've done so much. I could continue. It kind of tricks your mind into thinking you're further along than you actually are.
Gotcha.
So I'm doing the same thing with Geelong at the moment.
Okay.
I've just gone through and done outlines, but I know that it's a lot less complete than it looks.
Okay. Sure. Okay. That's funny.
So yeah, that's why you can kind of see on that one, like some of the streets have the facades kind of drawn in, and some of them are just blank buildings on there, and some are just the pencil layer. You can't really see the pencil layer that clearly. But you see where the pen's kind of facing.
Yeah.
That's it. That is actually like penciled in.
Okay.
If I'm doing a pen drawing, I tend to do like a pencil layer under it.
Okay. What about like a YouTube channel of like time-lapse videos of you kind of time-lapsing something?
I thought about doing it.
Yeah.
I have made like
you have time-lapse videos. Okay. Because I've seen other videos where somebody's doing, just like something similar. I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying the time-lapse thing looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that, they get tons of views because people are not patient, right? They don't want to be watching you do your little thing. Like what you're doing is very intricate, but they want to kind of see like, wow, the creation come to life.
Yeah.
I would think, I don't know. I think that would be something. It's not even YouTube. You could even do them on Facebook, right?
Yeah. Before I've just put them up on my Facebook page.
Facebook is actually a bit easier, I think, to grow in Taiwan than YouTube. So even just do it on Facebook. You could even do little clips on your Instagram of like 30-second time lapse of Shinju or something.
I do them from time to time.
Yeah? Okay, well,
just
I'll
short
have to
ones.
check.
But usually just in like the Instagram stories.
Okay, yeah, cool.
The trouble is, the best way
I've never
I
tried them.
to,
I have no idea. Yeah.
Yeah, the best way to have them set up is to get the camera on my phone, usually on a tripod, here,
like right there.
But then it's like you're
you can't
drawing
see
around it, and it's really awkward.
Of course.
So I gotta maybe get a better phone that can probably zoom in.
Okay.
I can kind of put behind me.
I understand.
Because
if you go behind you, then you're gonna see the hand. That's fine. Yeah.
That should be okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, a couple of the ones I did, I draw for sort of 5 minutes in this kind of awkward around sort of manner.
That's got to be tough for sure. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah. And you can't really see, right?
Right.
Okay,
I'll work out a better way to do them.
Okay. That's cool though. But I would imagine that would be huge. You would get a lot of views.
Yeah,
and a lot of people checking out your work, and I think something like what you're doing in Taiwan, it's needed, because I know Taiwan, they're trying to bring, they want to do tourism, they want to boost all that, but it doesn't seem that many of the higher up people kind of know what they're doing for that sort of thing. Right? I don't want to say that, like nobody knows what they're doing, but I think that would actually help to boost.
There is an element of that there too.
You know what I mean? I would imagine that would boost things to where, I don't know, like the 228 park or something, and it'll be like, hey, telling the story while there's like a time lapse or something, like 1 minute. I don't know. I think that would be huge.
Really cool,
I think it would be really cool, and people would share it, in Moon Festival or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember all the holidays. I've been here for so long; it's just a blur, right? Yeah.
I did think about starting a YouTube channel in about May last year.
Okay.
And I got to the point where I'd taken little videos around and all this sort of thing.
Yeah, like the vlogger style. Okay.
Kind of a bit like that.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And then the athlete video got really big, and I suddenly had zero free time, and it's kind of been like that since. Well,
that's why we do everything live here, right? Like this, bam! Because to sit here and do it like this is live. People are watching and they're checking it out, and they can comment, and then when we stop, it's there. Yeah.
Is there people writing stuff? Is that?
It is actually. The comments are on the side, but I don't know, for some reason the thing got kind of moved over. I can't really read it. We got cool art. We got I want to visit your restaurant again. Cool atmosphere. Thank you. Very cool art. A thumbs up, and then the kids one. Yeah. So So usually we'll stream it out to Facebook and YouTube, but unfortunately today's stream, the software that I use, they said, there's some Facebook update. We're fixing it, so we won't be able to give you the live updates. But I'll send them to you after, and we can respond or whatever. Right. But I think the most important thing is, if people want to buy, go to your website. You do replicas. You do the framing. You do everything.
I don't usually do framing.
You don't do framing, so you send them out in tubes.
Some of them are already framed, but I send them in tubes.
Okay.
It's quite like
and to commission something.
Commissions are fine too.
Okay,
so that works.
That means that they ask you to do, and they keep the original.
Yeah.
Or no? Yeah, they keep.
It's up to them, but most. I think all the commissions actually, I think, have kept the original.
I would imagine they would. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why they
So
wouldn't.
if somebody wants to do that, they just tell you, contact you, say, hey, do Dan Shui or whatever, and then
that's pretty much how that works. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But it's for now, I'm not doing commissions until early next year.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to work on some of my own stuff.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, your own stuff for sure. Okay.
Beautiful.
So one more
2022, I'll start doing
2010. Okay.
Commissions again.
Good. 2022, if you guys want to commission.
If you want to
hold
get
on a little bit. Line up. Yeah. Or you can
you
can DM them a really big amount and be like, do this.
Oh yeah, so it's like,
I'll
give you $1 million then too. I'll be like, all right, well, sure.
I'll have it for you next week. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the art community it's pretty big, I think, in Taipei, right?
It's
big-ish.
Big, but it's in lots of. I find it's quite fractured.
Okay. How do you find that the community works together? Is there like a hudzol, like a collaboration sort of a vibe with?
There can be, and it's a lot better than say it was 5-6 years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
There's a lot more like community art spaces now.
Okay.
Whereas the only one that used to be around back then was probably Red Room. Okay. And I do a lot of stuff with Red Room now.
Okay. Yeah, Red Rooms. Yeah. Mono from those guys. Yeah.
Okay. So they've been really cool.
Okay. Cool.
So I find like the art community centers on these spaces, but then there's a whole like gallery community too, and sort of
that's a different community.
Yeah,
like, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it's a different sort of world between them, but there's a lot of overlap. Like a lot of artists will be kind of part of both.
Okay,
but some are exclusively kind of more
one or the other
grassroots, I guess you'd say, and some are exclusively high-end gallery.
Okay.
Like,
is there a big high-end gallery community in Taipei? I have no idea.
There are and aren't. I mean, it's like whenever I do work with one of the like upper high-end galleries, I find I don't really meet other artists that much when I'm doing it, which is a shame.
Okay.
I find that there's much more of a commercial thing.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
And it's very it's very useful. They're great to work with usually.
Of course. Yeah.
But a lot of the focus is on. The exhibition is there for sales rather than for just people to enjoy.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I guess.
So I quite like doing stuff with, say, Red Room or next year in Lei Gallery down in Taichung.
Okay.
I have an exhibition down there where the focus isn't so much on like selling. Okay. But kind of also putting pieces that you think people will enjoy. Necessarily kind of.
Well, that's
high end.
The original idea of art, right? Is to put something up that I think, right, that people are going to. Oh, this is something people will enjoy, and then eventually, it became. I want to sell this, right? So I guess, right? So it's business, right?
It's good to have both going.
Right? Of course,
I'd say I've worked with a gallery down in Taichung who are definitely more in the high end sort of stuff, and we did like art from Moza. Last month. Okay. And that's really cool. Like, I'm always really grateful to have.
Sure, of course. You got to keep all the doors open, man. Always. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Don't burn any bridges. Right. That's always the best advice for business. I think it's just like I mean, be nice. I mean, you seem like a great guy. Like you're a good guy. So I think that that's a good thing. Yeah, because in business you get to meet all kinds of people. Some are great, and you meet some real doozies, and you're just like, wow,
yeah. That's the same with this too.
I would imagine. I would imagine it's similar. Yeah.
There's a certain commission who I won't mention them.
Yeah, they won't be mentioned.
Do not have the best working relationship. With.
Awesome. Right on, brother. You want to share? Is there anything else you want to share? What are you thinking?
Maybe let's do one. Have a look at Wanhua.
Yeah, that's gorgeous, man. Yeah,
a newer one too.
Yeah, I mean, example. How long did that take?
That one, I've completely forgotten.
Yeah, it's a blur.
Well, I was doing that. I was doing that in a run up to the exhibition last year.
Okay.
I was trying to get it done.
Yeah.
I was working a lot longer days than I would normally.
Okay, sure.
Not rushing it really, but like definitely trying.
Okay.
To get it finished.
Okay.
Cool. That one's sort of I really like this area around Longshan Temple.
Okay, yeah, wow. You haven't been down to that area in a long time.
Yeah.
In Taiwan, sometimes you get spoiled and you're like, you don't leave your little bubble.
Right.
So I've become that. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah. You forget about that stuff sometimes. But yeah, but when I was new here, I went down there all the time. It was a cool area. It is a very cool area for sure.
Got a lot of like interesting little alleyways and
yeah.
So I kind of wanted to do that area in more detail than I had before.
It's really cool, yeah.
And I was going through a phase of playing around with different shapes.
Okay.
So went with this kind of fan shape.
What about? I want to pull this one up just to make sure we don't miss that. I want to talk about this little dude here. So what's the story with this guy?
So this is the gallery in Taichung. Actually, they have this RAM series going on.
Okay.
And they give this little like RAM to. They've given hundreds of different artists now.
Okay.
And each artist does their own thing with it.
Okay.
And so you end up with a really cool collection of like, really different
and
stuff.
It's in Taichung right now.
This one's he's in the National Theatre in Taichung.
Really? Really
he's
cool.
in a little display case on there.
Okay. Oh
with
wow,
a few
that's really
of his
cool.
like brothers and sisters.
That's really cool. Yeah. Very cool, man. Well, that's a pretty cool thing to be among the artists that got to put.
I was really grateful
yeah.
to be asked for that.
Really cool. Yeah.
And so I went with a few different things with him. He's got like a night market on the back of his head.
Okay. He's got the food on his mind.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
And then a part of a Taichung street on his back as well.
Thank you.
And then the National Theatre actually is on his belly because I knew he would be in there.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was like,
Smart.
I can put that on. And then the face is kind of Dada Cheng in the 1920s.
Okay.
And then one of his horns is Taipei 101. You can kind of see the bottom of it there.
Okay.
But the Taipei 101 kind of wraps around his horn.
Oh, yes, I do see that.
What else did I put on there?
What about the sunglasses? Did you do that? Or they were original? Was it like that, or you made that?
I made that.
That's like so cool. Yeah. Okay.
I was like, I put eyes on him, and I was kind of sketched some eyes on him, and I was like, it needs something more.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm going to give him like some really.
But it looks really cool. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
I maybe made him a bit too cute, but
you're in the right space for that, right? I bet everybody loved that. Yeah. Really cool.
Really cool. I liked him in the end. I didn't want to send him to Taichung.
Yeah, you're like, I think I'm going to keep this one.
Guy.
Yeah. That's so cool. I love that, man.
And I think, he's down there. I don't know if he's been sold yet or not. I guess I'll.
Okay.
No, they'll probably tell me, I suppose.
Yeah.
Really cool. I had a lot of fun making that.
Very cool, man.
It's the first time I've ever done anything in 3D like that. It's really hard.
It must be. It must be harder, right?
It really like warps around.
Okay.
It's really.
It's really well done. Yeah.
Kind of wrapping it around his horns. You'd get like then the upper part of the city coming up as well, and it's like, oh no, that doesn't look good. Kind of trying to adjust the perspective all the time with it.
How big is that?
I mean, he's about that big.
Okay.
Maybe 20
it
centimeters.
Looks massive. Okay.
Yeah, he looks huge.
He looks massive there.
He's tiny.
He's almost the size as 101 there, right?
Yeah, he's only really as tall as this microphone.
Okay. Pretty cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I called him a ram about town because I can't resist a cheesy, cheesy word pun.
I like it. Good one. That's a good one. Right on, brother.
That's
the name. They're like, I love everything but the name.
Right.
Awesome, man. Very cool. Well,
that
pull up another one, and then What do you think?
Let's see. Oh, another kind of silly one was I turned Taipei.
Oh, this was great.
Last month ago, yeah. A friend of mine was telling me it was like a Facebook comment she wrote.
Okay.
That was because the Taipei Basin surrounded by
mountains.
That's right.
Yeah.
Traps all the heat and humidity. And
that's right.
Like, little dumplings being steamed.
Yeah.
I was like, I just like the sound, that image in my head. So I made it.
I would imagine that would sell incredibly well as a postcard or maybe, a painting or something. I don't know, because that's really cool. Because when people think of the amazing Xiaolongbao here, right? They think about obviously the local ones, but they also think about Din Tai Fung, right? And people think about Yeah.
It would make me really happy if someone used that for like a dumpling restaurant, like sign or something.
We should tag Din Tai Fung on that.
Hi, Din Tai Fung, please.
Din Tai Fung. You want the rights to that? Come on. I bet you they would, man.
So each dumpling is like a district in Taipei-based. There's like a Banqiao one, a Yonghe one, a Xinyi one.
I love it.
I started a Grand Hotel up on the mountain.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well.
So that was a kind of... It's nice to do something a bit silly every now and again, actually.
We got to get that in front of the Din Tai Fung guys and see what happens.
I would love it if they use that.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's beautiful, yeah.
I haven't decided what to do with that yet. I'm kind of hoping someone...
They've got they've always got their own like merchandise and stuff too, bags and all this stuff too. So I would imagine...
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. They just want you to add their little guy in the corner there, and then you're done. You're good.
Yeah.
Then you retire. You're like, hey, Din Tai Fung royalties. We're good. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
What else we got here too? Oh, this is one the latest one I finished. This is not a Taiwan one. This is Nottingham.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I noticed the double-decker bus on the bridge. That's cool.
British, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
They're Nottingham's the university I went to.
Okay. Yeah. I saw the interview. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I did a virtual exhibition with them earlier this year.
Oh, through the pandemic sort of deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a Taiwan studies program. And
okay.
I gave it like a seminar and virtual exhibition. Going through like Taiwan urban history.
Okay. Wow.
It was cool actually. I was like, I feel like I'm doing something seriously academic.
Well, that's cool. If if it's your hometown. They say you never made it until you do something in your hometown, right? That's what people say. So, university, that's even better. Yeah, it's amazing.
So then the alumni magazine commissioned this.
Okay.
And it'll be published, I think, next week, actually.
Oh, wow. It's not... Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Looks great. It's kind of the free campuses and then Nottingham City down in the corner.
Okay.
And they wanted all their kind of sustainability stuff on there.
Beautiful.
So
okay.
I kind of researched whatever they were doing. Everything from like the biotech research labs to... They have this thing called like the hedgehog-friendly campus where they make the campus deliberately like friendly for hedgehogs. So it's like,
is there wild hedgehogs running around?
So there's like hedgehogs running around.
Okay.
And so we can't really zoom in on this, but if you zoom in on the sort of south part of the screen, there's a giant hedgehog kind of marauding around down there.
Oh, shoot. If I knew that, I would have been able to zoom on this one.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I think once the magazine comes out, they'll highlight some of that stuff.
That's pretty cool, man. Very cool. Very cool. So do you have a favorite?
A favorite piece?
Yeah. It's got to be tough.
That's very tough.
It's like having a favorite child, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Easy if you have one, but if you've got 200, that's gotta be tough. Yeah.
What would be my favorite? There's definitely like a few that I'm like quite proud of.
Extra proud of, sure.
Old Tainan is one because that was such a challenge to draw.
Okay.
And I forgot to send it to you, so we can't see it.
That's okay.
If you look on my website, you can see it.
The website's in the description, so definitely check that out.
Probably the Taipei one. So this one just because it started everything here in Taiwan.
Okay.
So I always have kind of a soft spot for that.
Sure. It started the career,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Dragonflies, which was one of the insect ones. Like, this is hornets, but...
Okay.
Dragonflies is about twice as
you know
big.
what? That's ringing a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just liked how that one ended up turning out. And I'd like to animate it or something one day and actually get it moving.
That would be amazing.
I don't know how to do that yet.
Very cool.
And then... probably the sphere one. Is it there? Oh, that's part of it. Maybe.
Oh, the red room sphere. Oh,
the red room sphere. Yeah. So
is that it? Okay.
That's it. Yeah. So this is the first time I made one that was in this kind of globe perspective.
Okay. That's really cool, man. It just looks like so difficult to do.
This was really hard.
It's gotta be. My gosh. Yeah.
Oops.
That's all right. Just go full screen.
Yeah.
You're good. Yeah.
I'm doing Geelong at the moment in the same perspective.
Okay, wow. Okay.
This one, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. Like,
that looks great.
It was quite a challenge. I'd never made anything in this style before.
Yeah. Okay.
Hard to get everything the right size, I guess.
I bet. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I'm very big on it being
like proportionate
and accurate. I want people to be able to find like their life on there and to find like the places they went
like
to,
their house or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I feel like then people have that kind of connection.
Okay.
And it makes it a bit more meaningful. Then
I'm not, sense, yeah.
You know, it's like, I find like if you just say put landmarks on and then invent stuff in between,
sure,
it doesn't connect as well.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they do. Like some of those kind of maps are really cool looking.
Okay.
Like, but I like that someone can actually like find.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Stuff from their life on there, like, because that's what I was using it for myself. Like I was using the Nottingham one for that.
Like a diary of. Like, that's so beautiful.
Yeah,
man. Like a journal, a daily journal of. Yeah.
So I was very really kind of keen on getting this one similarly accurate, but it's really hard to do.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. I can imagine. I can't imagine. I just look at that. I'm like, oh man. That's a tough one.
Yeah, these are just. Because there's a lot of once you get to the edges, there's a lot of distortion happens away from like the focal points.
Okay, like a fisheye sort of a deal.
Yeah,
right?
Okay. So you have to be kind of like adapt that so it looks right, and then a lot of distortion happens in the center as well, where stuff doesn't fit its floor plan properly, and it kind of looks a bit weird.
Wow.
So, kind of. There was a lot of erasing and redrawing the center bits, and there was a lot of that over here as well, actually, too. Because this is like a massive public housing estate here, and I was like, I want to get this right.
Okay. Really cool, man.
And get the hotels right.
Yeah.
Even though they look too big here, that is actually accurate as far as their size goes. They are just huge.
They're just massive. Yeah. Okay.
So that one,
I would imagine hotels would want this in their hotel in the lobby or something.
I would also think that.
You would think, right?
This is one of those things that it's
they
like
might not know, man.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. We got to show it's more. We got to.
Sometimes I have mailed places that I thought might be interested in. Like with the Tainan one, I mailed like the Hayashi department store down there, and the city government, and the art museum as well.
Yeah.
Didn't get a response from any of them.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of like a bit
disappointing. Yeah, because you would think that would be perfect. Yeah,
right. So I sort of that's the sort of thing where having perhaps an agent or something would be useful.
Of course. Yeah. But then that's
who knows how to approach these places better.
Yeah, makes sense, man.
Because I would have thought that's the Far Eastern Hotel, Shangri-La Hotel. There, I'd have thought they would want.
I mean, it's pretty prominent in that.
Right.
In there, right? It looks amazing.
Similarly with a lot of these companies on Dunhua.
Yeah.
Even the university here as well.
Yeah, that looks great. Yeah.
And then NTU down there.
Wow, it's beautiful. Well, keep on plugging away, man. It looks fantastic. I love it.
You never really know which one's gonna go like viral and shared around.
Yeah.
It's completely random.
Yeah. It's hard to the viral formula. That's just tough to figure that out. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one, man.
So, and sometimes it'll be a total surprise which one does and which one doesn't.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, I think it. You want one? You want to do any more, or what are you thinking? Yeah, go for it. Get a couple more on there. It's all good.
What else have we got? That's one of the insect ones. That's Dadaten in the 1920s.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
That's kind of the oldest era I've drawn.
Okay.
Because that's the
1920s.
Furthest,
okay.
Yeah, it's the furthest you go back, and there's actually a decent amount of photographs from then. And I did it purely because I kind of wanted to, but then during the process of making it, I met the great-grandson of the guy who owned like the 4 huge houses on the left. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And he ended up buying the original of this.
I was going to say he had to have bought that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
So it was the Lee family mansions of Dadaten.
Beautiful.
So it was really cool meeting someone who actually had family connections with
That's so cool. Wow, very cool. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's a super interesting area, and only really like 5 or 6 of those buildings are still there.
Okay. Oh, really?
Just if I can, this one here, that one and one up here as well. And
really?
That's kind of really it. Like, you know Juanjo Road?
Mm-hmm.
That Juanjo Road, like, pretty much obliterated everything.
Oh, really? Oh, shoot.
Sure there, yeah. So
okay.
that's why most of that's not there. And then Sheening Road, when that was like built and widened, kind of got the stuff at the back.
Okay. Wow.
So I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather all that was still there because it looked cool. But,
of course, yeah.
It's kind of interesting when it's had that big enough of a change.
Big transformation, right?
Yeah, because British cities don't tend to have that very often. Bits of London, sure.
Yeah.
They got blitzed. But most, like my hometown looks fairly similar to how it did 100 years ago.
But it's kind of cool, some of the old buildings and stuff. I've never been, but the stuff I see on TV and movies and stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like cool, sort of interesting older buildings in Taipei, but they get demolished a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a bummer. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
These ones, these drawings, I did quite a long time ago now. They're sort of buildings I found around Taipei stacked into some kind of imaginary tower.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. Very cool.
And I was quite sad because about a month ago, the one that's on the top of that one was knocked down. And that's kind of
It's sad when they have these really cool old buildings and they take them down. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I sort of
put
drew
up
these,
a high rise or something and apartments and sell apartments. You're like,
And it's like I kind of drew these to be like, actually, come on, Taiwan, you've got some cool stuff going on there.
There
like,
is,
there's not very much of it. Maybe at least, if not save it completely, but save the front of it.
Save something.
Save something there.
Save some.
Sometimes they move them. Like a few buildings in Taipei have moved.
That's. I wonder how that. I mean, brick by brick.
No, they stick them on rails and
really
and move them like that.
Oh my gosh.
There's a building near the railway station
that got moved like
been shoved backwards, and another one I think was brick by brick down there.
Wow. That's a tough
Kaohsiung
one.
Station as well. Actually.
I heard about that. I read about that. Yeah. I seen a couple videos about them moving that. Yeah.
So I'm quite impressed when they
That's
do
impressive
something
to be
like
honest.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
But then a lot of effort expended for those, but not much for some of the stuff around it that was also kind of cool. Like,
that's weird. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because there are some really cool. Sometimes they'll redo some of those old buildings and they look great, man. I love
right.
There's some really cool old buildings here. Yeah. And the culture and all the old traditional stuff is pretty awesome. Yeah.
So I like that stuff. It gives the city a bit of texture. Then
For sure. Yeah.
Someone once said like, you know, a city's like a book, and if you kind of tear out those interesting pages, you've not like you've got
like you've got a strip mall, or something.
Right.
You're
so
like,
I always quite like that quote.
Okay, that sounds good. I like that.
How I think about it as well.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So that was a little bit why I did that one too.
Okay, that's a cool one. Yeah.
I was kind of like
very cool, man.
Oh, that's not what I was expecting. What's that? That's just me.
That's just you. Yeah. There's so many cool ones on there, man. I think we hit most of them already.
We hit a lot of them, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. It looks like,
Cornets, what was that? Oh, that's the old Taipei. I think
we got them.
Yeah, we got quite a few.
Okay. All right,
this is only really a quarter of what I've done.
Oh, wow.
Probably.
Okay. And if people want to buy the prints, they just go to your site. Just buy them online, and you ship them. Beautiful.
Yeah, I can ship. I can send overseas as well. A lot of people don't think I can post to America, but I can.
I think we can do that. Yeah. That's funny.
The only place I can't post at the moment is the UK. I had to FedEx the Nottingham one.
Really?
To them, which was it was fine.
You're not accepting anything incoming right now.
No, it seems both ways actually.
Okay.
So no Christmas stuff. For
no
me.
Christmas. No Christmas. Okay.
Yeah,
Terry's chocolate orange or something.
I miss Terry's chocolate orange so badly.
I read somewhere that they have them in Carrefour right now, apparently.
What?
Somebody said that. Somebody posted it.
Terry's
chocolate orange.
I've got to go check that out.
Yeah. I've heard that it's there. So
my favorite chocolate.
Is it really? Yeah, all right. That's the only thing that I'm like, I think that's a British chocolate. Yeah.
I always bring back a lot of them.
That's I know what you mean.
I've given them to a few friends before too, and they're addicted to them now.
I'm pretty sure. If I find that, I'll share the post with you. I'm pretty sure.
Please do.
Somebody was saying Carrefour has them right now. So I don't know. Probably the one in Tianmu because of all the Europeans and the Brits in this area. Probably
I think so, right?
Probably that's where someone said it. Yeah. Terry's chocolate orange. Yeah.
Christmas is saved.
Yeah, Christmas is saved. That's right. Yeah, you gotta have it. Cool, man. Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We did like what? We did an hour and a half, dude. Time flies.
Okay,
Time's
time
crazy,
flies.
right? I know. Time is crazy. It's crazy. It just flies. But do you have anything you want to say before we cut it? Anything you want to add?
I don't think so. I think
we've covered it all, right?
Lot, yeah.
If anybody, your Facebook page is in the description below.
If you
follow on Facebook,
there's Facebook page. The Facebook page I kind of keep mostly for art stuff.
Okay.
Instagram is more of a mix of art and then hiking adventures and any other stuff I put on there. Cool.
So Facebook, Instagram, and then your website.
Then my website, so I guess you put that there.
Yeah, the website's there for sure. Yeah. Facebook and the website. So I'll add Instagram later. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay, cool.
And then people can always message me through those.
Yeah. Don't forget to get some of those drawings. What do we call? We call them drawings or paintings or sketches or what?
I call them drawings.
Drawings. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Because they don't really have any paint on them.
No, I don't really. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay. So if you want to get your Tom Rook art drawing, the link is in the description below. Click the website and buy yourself something cool.
Yes, please do.
T-shirts. The postcard one looked really cool. I would imagine that those would go very well.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Because you can't really find
well.
postcards and stuff like that here. I don't think. Yeah, like not like cool. I don't know, not cool ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been really successful.
I always
definitely like a few hundred boxes, I think, by now.
I always struggle when I go back to find some Taiwanese sort of gift thing. The first few years you get like the chi pao and then the pineapple cakes and the tea. But I mean, you want to bring the same thing every year, right? So yeah, that's cool.
Some people have been framing the postcards actually. It's like
that would be cool. That'd be cool.
Prints.
That's very
really cool.
That's cool. Very cool.
So
get your postcards. Link is in the description. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.